Hello everyone, my name is Crystal and today I will be talking about the book The Five People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. So the book counts with two genres. The first one is religious fiction and the second one is philosophical fiction. The book has 194 pages. This makes it a really easy read. I read the book in one day. I also wanted to add the target audience. The author, Mitch Albom, said that the target audience for this book is those who think they don't matter in life, people who are going through loss and are looking for a connection. What is the book about? The book is about an old man named Eddie, a veteran, and a mechanic who doesn't think he matters that much in life. He dies when he is 83 years old. Actually, he dies on his birthday, trying to save a little girl named Amy or Annie, as he says, from an accident in an amusement park where he works at. As soon as he dies, he wakes up in a form of heaven where there are five people waiting for him. One person from his childhood, called the Blue Man, one from his war years, whom he calls Captain, one from his love life named Margaret, and so on. These five people meet with Eddie to tell him about moments of their lives and to share life lessons that change the point of view of his life forever. And I want to share an interesting fact. Um, that man that you see on the screen is the actual Eddie. Um, Eddie was Mitch Albom, the author's uncle, and he actually worked in an amusement park. So this book is inspired by him, by his death, and it was a cope method for the author. Now, what is the conflict in the book? There are two conflicts: character versus self. After Eddie returned from the war, he was very depressed and angry at what he had done for the remainder of his life. And the second conflict is character versus character. That is, Eddie's father had never shown him love, approval, or any signs of encouragement. Even though there are many things happening in the book, these are the two most prominent conflicts from the book. The climax of the book is that Eddie meets a little girl named Tala, and she answers a lifelong question that actually tormented Eddie for as long as he lived. I won't give more information about the climax because I will give it away. All that I can say is that this climax is more towards the end of the book. And this is a very important moment in Eddie's life. Now, because the book is literally the main character Eddie meeting five people in heaven, there are many things happening on the book. So, some of the themes are redemption and forgiveness, the cycle of life and death, connection between all humans, the value in ordinary life, time, and gender roles. What developmental stages does the book appeal to? So I chose various developmental stages, but one of them is achieve a proper masculine or feminine role. This is because in the book it is not direct, but it is shown that Eddie wants his father's approval and he tries to achieve this approval of masculinity and independence by preparing himself to go to war. Another one is adapt to physical changes, because in the book, when Eddie is in heaven, he is going through a process because his body is constantly changing every time he meets one of the people that he needs to meet in heaven. Prepare for a career and achieve social responsibility. These two are kind of also related to the fact that he wanted to go to war and acquire a personal ideology. Since he's meeting all of these different people, his let's say mindset, his ideas, everything he thought that it was in this way change. Like all of his point of view changed. What moral developmental stages does it appeal to? I chose two. Level 2, conventional morality. Stage 3, that is good intentions. And I put that it was because of Eddie. And level 3, post conventional morality. Stage 6, universal principles. And I wrote Eddie with the 5 characters and the captain. Again, like I mentioned before, he is constantly seeking for approval from his father, and his ideology, his idea and points of view constantly change every time he meets a new person in heaven. So I have 3 possible questions. Number 1, what do we learn about Eddie's relationship with his father? What was the lesson that Ruby teaches him from this encounter? Number 2, after arriving in heaven, the blue man teaches Eddie that there is nothing random about life. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? If you agree, how have you seen this played out in your life or throughout history? And number 3, Eddie's interaction with his father is much different than what happens with the other 4 that he meets in heaven. Were you satisfied with the way the time Eddie had with his father ended? For these questions, they are more around the fact that he has a conflict with his father, so that's why they are two related to their relationship and talking about that conflict. Now I am going to share with you guys 3 passages that I chose from the book. Passage number 1, all parents damage their children. It cannot be helped. Youth, like pristine glass, absorbs the prints of its handlers. Some parents smudge, others crack, a few shatter childhoods completely into jagged little pieces, beyond repair. Passage number 2. Parents rarely let go of their children, so children let go of them. They move on, they move away. The moments that used to define them, a mother's approval, a father's nod, are covered by moments of their own accomplishments. It is not until much later, as the skin sags and the heart weakens, that children understand their stories, and all their accomplishments sit atop the stories of their mothers and fathers, stones upon stones, beneath the waters of their life. Passage number 3. Sacrifice is a part of life. It's supposed to be. It's not something to regret. It's something to aspire to. So, for what I understood, I chose these three passages because from all the passages from the book, these three I thought they were the most direct when it comes to the development stages that I wrote down. And to conclude, I give this book a 10 out of 10. It was a really easy read. It was only 194 pages. I read it in one day and I couldn't stop reading it.